First cars for students under $5,000. It's finally time to buy your first car, but you only have $5,000 to spend. No problem, we're going to tell you about 8 different cars that will fit into your budget. I'm telling you, we're going to make your jaw drop when you see that what we're going to bring to the table. One car on this list is used to beat out Mustangs and Camaros at the drag strip, and we've even found the sweet BMW for under $3,000. Hello and welcome back to MIA Luxury Cars. In today's video, we will be talking about the great first cars for students under $5,000. Want to know about these cars? Keep on watching. Number 8. Mazda 3S Touring, 2008 to 2009. If you were looking for the first perfect car to cruise to school, and it's definitely worth considering the Mazda 3. This car is built to be your right-hand man all through the high school, college, and beyond. It's durable, gets good gas mileage, and it's super cheap to repair. And it looks a whole lot better than any other car you're going to find for under $5,000. Well, there are a couple on the list that are pretty good looking too, but this is a good looker, and the base Model 3 is an absolutely great reliable car that's perfect for commuting to and from school. But hey, we're here all about leveling up, so why not look at the Mazda 3's Touring? And it's still under $5,000. And while the base 3 gets 144 horsepower, the Touring tacks on another 12, bringing it up to 156, and the Touring trim also has a ton more cabin and cargo space, which will definitely come in handy when you and all of your friends pile into it to go on some weekend adventures. And I don't think that you're the only one that's going to be into this car, because your mom and pop will be there too, because it's got some top-notch safety features that'll keep their little baby safe, and sound on the road automatic, logging retractor airbags galore, and a smart crash sensor. This whip as a safe space as they come and check out this low-mile Mazda 3 Touring that we found for under $5,000. Number 7. Scion TC, 2004 to 2010. Toyota's discontinued brand that was marketed towards kind of younger demographic build, and a hell of a car. And although they're not forgotten, because the Scion TC is a wonderful set of wheels, and it's the perfect car for anyone getting their first set of keys. It's safe, it performs great in handling and acceleration, and with its 240 horsepower 4-cylinder with a finely tuned transmission, it is a hoot in drive, and it'll cost you no more than $5,000. Plus, it's got a big sunroof that's perfect for romancing with your high school sweetheart under the night sky. And while the design language is the TC is modern and classy, anywhere that you will pull up in one sends the message that you have great taste. And as good as the exterior looks, the interior isn't something that you bat an eye at either, but because of the dashboard on this car is beautiful, and if you're gonna buy a TC, you want to get the engine thoroughly inspected, because back in 2007, they did have an engine recall, and if you find the one that runs right away, it's a Toyota's. So it's going to last you a lifetime. And what's awesome is that you can find the decent TCs for the way under your budget, like this silver base model with under 100,000 miles. Number 6. Acura TSX, 2004 to 2008. It's another Japanese driving machine that provides some serious luxury at pocket change prices. And if you're looking for a sporty first car and you're willing to sacrifice some of the gas mileage, then look no further. The Acura TSX is a luxury sports car sedan with some serious power for the price. And yes, for under $5,000, this little powerhouse comes with 4 letters that's synonymous with power. Well, because of the Fast and Furious franchise, VTEC, it has a 2.4-liter VTEC engine that revs up to 205 horsepower. And while it is attached to an automatic transmission, it does have a sport shift capabilities. Plus, the gas mileage isn't all bad at 28 miles per gallon. On the highway and on the interior, the TSX gives up absolutely nothing. It's got a slam and speaker system, Bluetooth wireless connectivity, a satellite radio included unless you live in Hawaii or Alaska. But regardless of where you live, the TSX includes a host of safety features including a trunk anti-trap device in case someone tries to keep you hostage in your trunk of your own car, and hopefully that it never happens to you or me. But hey, if it does, at least you know your TSX has got you covered. Number 5. Honda Civic, 1996 to 2000s. It is a perfect for first-time drivers since about the year 2000s. There has been what seems like an under-restrained flood of Honda Civics on the road. Although these days you may have associated the Civic with your middle-aged neighbor and then that walks the cat while you're on the vacation, which is kind of weird. And from 1996 until 2000s, the Civic was considered as a badass Japanese drag machine. That's right. When the car first hit the market around that time period, enthusiasts really took a liking to the smaller, more lightweight VTEC-powered Econobox as an alternative to the bunkular V8-powered American muscle cars of that time. Believe it or not, the Civic was taking on Camaros and Corvettes at drag strip, and it was winning. And yes, it was kicking ass, so promise me this before you make any assumptions about the Civic. Get behind the wheel of one and tell me that it doesn't have the kick that you're looking for. And yes, I agree, it's not a supercar, but it's a lot more fun than I think you give it credit for. Plus, it costs next to nothing. It's safe and reliable and a hell of a lot fun to drive. Number 4. Toyota Yaris 2006 to 2011. We have a great car for a first-time buyer with, in my opinion, one of the worst names on the market. Yes, we're talking about the Toyota Yaris. This car is actually a phenomenal purchase for all of you students looking to buy a new car. Well, a new car for you, it's super compact, gets great gas mileage, and the best of all, it fits into a pretty much any parking spots and pretty much any budget, and you could find a Yaris that's been driven that little. It's going to last you forever because these cars are super reliable. They're Toyotas, but if you could care less about the looks and you want to save some cash on gas, the whip gets 35 miles to the gallon on the highway. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, this is due in part to the fact that the Yaris only has 106 horsepower, 1.5-liter motor, and this thing is pretty much an easy bake oven of an engine. But hey, it's cheap, it's reliable, and it's fuel efficient. And yes, it's not great for your budding racing career, but definitely great for your wallet. And although it's overpowered, it's also underpriced, and you can grab a little fun first car for just $4,300, like this black Yaris. Number 3. BMW 325I, 2006 to 2012. When people in the USA see someone driving a Beamer, they immediately assume that they spent big bucks on it. But the truth to behold, you don't have to. For under $25,000 bucks, you can and you could be sitting behind the wheel of a 2006 BMW. It's gonna blow your mind. The kind of quality you're in, for we're talking a beautiful combination of sporty performance and practicality, all wrapped up in that beautiful BMW luxury. This car is more agile than a jungle cat, turning, accelerating, and stopping with ease and without sacrificing even the slightest bit of driver comfort. And of course, when you're buying a BMW, you expect to get some sweet tech features. And back in 2006, which is a few years ago, The 3251 was blowing people's away, and with the active steering system, which believe it or not actually turns the front wheel without the driver having to do anything. It's like a mind reader or something, but the technology was put in place so that you don't have to worry about drifting out of your lane. The 325i also features B-xenon headlights and as the high-tech cruise control that will apply the brakes if you start going too fast downhill. Overall, to get all of these values for such little cash is insane. And if you're a first-time car buyer in the market right now, maybe you should pen a thank you note to BMW for building a 325i now for $5,000. You're looking at the 3 Series with at least 6 figures on the clock. And if the thought of 110,000 miles German sedan scares you, well, maybe it should, although it's had a routine maintenance and you get a pre-purchase inspection before you buy it, and it can be a great first car. Number 2. Volkswagen Jetta SE 2011 to 2018. This will make you smile when you're driving it, even if you're driving to the jury duty in the past decade, or the Volkswagen has proven itself to be a fantastic all-around automaker, and the Jetta SE is among some of its finest work. This car excels in almost every category imaginable. It gets 33 highway miles to the gallon. Its cabin is spacious and equipped with an easy-to-use high-tech interface, and most people that own a Jetta SE have zero problems with it year after year. And while it's not packing a supercharged V8, well, no first car should it does put it out 170 healthy horses with a 2.5-liter SEFI engine, which you know is pretty respectable. And when you pop the door, when the Jetta SE feels like a full-on luxury vehicle, and it's handling its pure German and some of the best in its class, and I bet you'll be smiling as you're driving down the road thinking about all the performance and luxury that you found for under $5,000. And if you think that this is your first deal breaker car, we definitely recommend that you get the soft plush interior instead of the hard leather that they tried to replace it with. A sure leather looks way better, but if you're gonna put your back sit on something R2R multiple times a week, wouldn't you want it to be comfortable? And look here on the SE model Jetta with under $10,000 on the clock and just slightly over budget. But we're pretty sure that if you use the ideal car strategies, you're gonna get it for under $5,000. And switch gears a little bit. Number 1. Lexus RX300 1999 to 2003. It is a spacious SUV. It's not a car at all, and it's from a company that's known for luxury and quality. Yes, specifically Lexus Luxury. And we're always talking about it, but that's because it's the real deal, and the RX300 is certainly no exemption. And there's a quite few reasons why the wealthy choose to buy the upscale Toyota brand, but you don't have to be wealthy to own one of these today, because the RX300 is an incredible value. First, the V6 front engine churns out 220 horsepower, which is more than enough to get you from point A to B in a hurry. Plus, on the inside, Lexus Luxury is stitched up with some of the super comfortable leather that we've come to know and love. Plus, you get the cabin space, a ton of cabin space. Now, it does lock compared to some of the other cars on the list in gas mileage at only 22 miles per gallon, but it's not bad for an SUV. And do note that the RX300 is available in both front-wheel and four-wheel drive configurations. And while the four-wheel drive is going to cost you a little bit more, we definitely suggest you to go trim level, because with all the wheel drive, you can really go rip and do the snow. And the RX300 is definitely a home run for your first car. And for $5,000, you can find RX300s pretty regularly. Just expect higher mileage than you're used to seeing. But it's a freaking Toyota with a Lexus badge. It's just getting started. Now, what is your first deal car? Do you find this video useful? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you on our next video.